Hello and welcome to your insurance tip of the week. I'm here with Kelly Teeter of the Reed Agency. And I'm curious, Kelly, I'm approaching midlife, so I think about things like, life insurance more often than I used to. So what are some rules of thumb to make sure I'm not underinsured?
Well, Ian, that's a great question. Statistically speaking, 48% of Americans don't even have life insurance at all. And then half of the Americans that do have life insurance are underinsured. So that means like 3 out of 4 American adults, if something happens to them, are leaving their families in a bit of a financial crisis in their departure. So we do like to make sure that everybody is as insured as they possibly can be. So some things to consider. One of them is what is your current income? And if something was to happen to you, how much would it cost to replace that so that your family can maintain their current lifestyle? And while they are missing you and drowning in sorrow, they don't have to worry about the bills, right? So that's one thing. How much debt do you currently have, and what's your timeline to pay it off, right? So, do you have a mortgage on your house? How long is that going to take? Those kind of things. And so one thing too is to make sure that like whose debt is under whose name, right? So is it under the husband's, the wife's, whatever? Make sure that you get all that lined out. Another thing to consider is retirement assets. Those are a big deal. And sometimes when something happens to a person, then the retirement assets get cut into because there's not enough life insurance to cover. But also, the surviving spouse may eventually want to retire. So we want to make sure that that's also something that we're considering as we're going forward. So there's a lot of different things, education for kids, stuff like that, where you want to make sure that if something happens, that those goals can still be attained, right? That your kids aren't going to suffer. Your wife doesn't have to go get 3 jobs to make sure that they're fed, things like that. And so one of the most neglected areas